رضيت بالله ربا وبالإسلام دينا رضيت بالله ربا وبالإسلام دينا وبمحمد صلى الله عليه وسلم سلم نبيا ورسولا Source of life and you're the source of truth. To obey you I strive and my aim is pleasing you. Allah, you are the only one, your promise is always true. You don't need anyone, but we're all in need of you. And I sincerely pray to be among the ones you love. And until my final day I'll say in all my prayers Raditu billahi rabba وبالإسلام دينا رضيت بالله ربا وبالإسلام دينا وبمحمد صلى الله عليه وسلم سلم نبيا ورسولا My eyes cannot see you, and yet my heart believes. Your miracles surround me, so clear and easy to see. Allah, you are the greatest, and I submit to you. You know my deepest thoughts, you know everything I do. And I sincerely pray to be among the ones you love. And until my final day I'll say in all my prayers Raditu بالله ربا وبالإسلام دينا رضيت بالله ربا وبالإسلام دينا وبمحمد صلى الله عليه وسلم سلم نبيا ورسولا صلوا على النبي 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 رضيت بالله ربا وبالإسلام دينا
whom I remember when we were trying to finalize the law established before Kaduna State Public Health in Zaria. When she came to address us when we were trying to finalize and get the right document of the state, her contribution was overwhelming. In fact, she's not just only a medical doctor, but she's an administrator and academician by excellence. Having said that, we go straight. So working on directives, the next item is supposed to be presentation, submission of reports from branches. I don't know. Branches that are here, please, can you identify by raising of your hands? Let me see how many branches we have here. National Eye Center, National Air Care, Baraudico, Yusuf, and so 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, do you have a report to present to us briefly of activities in your branch as per the program? So that I invite you to the podium so that I can be able to say in 1 or 2 or 3 minutes on the overall activities of your branch so far. Anybody that is ready, please come introduce yourself, your facility, and then tell us that progress thus far. You ready? Okay, before then, I am pleased to invite, or rather present in our midst is the Qadi Mohammed Nasser, Secretary Supreme Council for Islam in Nigeria, a representative of my elder brother, Babana Ahmed, the Secretary Supreme Council of Nigeria, Sharia in Nigeria, Kaduna State, Ambassador Qadi Mohammed Nasser. Please, if he's around. Okay, we recognize him. And this also, and before the branches get to present their presentation of reports, I want to welcome, or rather invite to the podium, the Amir, Kaduna State Chapter of Islamic Medical Association, to tell us why he decided to bring us here. Amir, sir.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه وسلم وبعد السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Let me start by welcoming my brothers and sisters on the high table and then when I came in, I first saw Professor Kabari. I was like, mashallah, that's the same thing. Then after him, I saw our honorable guest lecturer, Malaysia Waterby. And then after him, I saw my big brother, Dr. Bada. And then when I was trying to negotiate that pathway, then I saw the permanent secretary. You are all welcome. Yes, on this side, I must welcome, and that is Professor Hassan Abdulaziz. You are highly welcome. That is a view of my own branch in Zaria. And then I came in together with the National Treasurer of Islamic Medical of Nigeria, the National Officer, and that's Sheikh Lafi again, his manager. Then there is quarterly general meeting, meaning that this meeting is going to be a recurring event and it's going to be every quarter. So it is quarterly general meeting. So it's just quarterly general meeting. So either you call it first quarterly general meeting or first quarterly general meeting, both are still correct, but the first general quarter is just telling you that it's a meeting holding in the first quarter, full stop. But the quarterly general meeting is telling you it is going to hold in the recurring fashion. So both are going to be together, but it's a managed space and either put first quarter or put first quarter. Mashallah, no fight about that, but that is just like now, alhamdulillah, we know that Kaduna State is one of the very big states in Nigeria. Islamic Medical Association, when it was formed in 1989, the first national secretary then, after formation, from our own state here, Professor
سيد المرسلين سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه وأزواجه وذريته من دعا بدعوته إلى الدين. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. Distinguished brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. May Allah in His infinite mercy bless those who find it appropriate to organize this gathering and also invite the beautiful and handsome faces that I've seen this morning here. May the Allah in His infinite mercy bless the session for us to have a very better understanding of Islam, better understanding of the presentation. I am the least qualified person to speak on this issue because before me, for those of you that don't know, there are Ahl al-Dhikr here. If you have invited Ali to speak on this, it will have been much better. So I'm going to raise issues based on the presentation or based on the topic given to me. The other thing I did, and I'm going to seek the permission of the chairman to approve it for me to continue, is I modified the topic. Instead of the initial topic given, which I also believe, I modified it to read what you've seen on the screen. And the key issues I want us to look at is the issue of the word attitude, behavior, manners, who is a health worker, what is healthcare service, who is a patient, and what are expectations. So I'm on the definition, please, I'm on the definition. I am on the definition. That's slide number 4. Before then, you described me as, I'm with different nomenclatures, special assistant, special advisor, technical advisor, and different introductions. I am neither. I have resigned from the National Health Commission, even though I'm still with them, but I no longer have a portfolio. So please, even the one I saw here is a special advisor. So let me say loud and clear that I have resigned that appointment. But it doesn't matter, I'm still part of them and I'm still contributing to what they are doing. So the key issues that the topic raised for me to speak on is the attitude of Muslim health worker. What are the expectations of Muslim patients on this very noble profession of health or medical services? It's important for us to understand that each time a non-Muslim hears the word Sharia, he starts panicking. I later realized even the Muslims, when they hear the word Sharia, they panic. They think Sharia starts and stops on what? Thank you very much. As a member of the Supreme Council for Sharia in Nigeria, and a very active member, and from the inside of last week's presentation from our brother, Umar Kasuli, I decided to coin and redirect the presentation to respect the principles of Islamic Sharia. So what I'm going to be speaking on, and this I'm going to be reading, is the attitude of you and me towards a patient based on the Islamic Sharia, based on the purpose and objective of Sharia. So that when you get Sharia, you no longer see it as the only thing you go to court from the Qadi. Sharia is implemented by you and me. What the court does is just, it gives us an eye. Let them take percent. All other issues are with you and me as Muslims. So in this introduction, I have decided to point the topic to call attitude of Muslim health workers and expectations of patients from Islamic perspective or from Sharia perspective. Next slide. I also want us to understand that why are we expecting a different attitude from a Muslim health worker by a patient. Why do we think that a Muslim patient or client requires a different approach or behavior from a health worker? Under normal circumstances, as human beings, we are all brothers keepers. As humans, we want to treat ourselves with generosity, with kindness, with this and that. But that has been part of Islamic principles in concept of muamalat. Two areas of Islam. One is ibadat, the other is muamalat. Ibadat is what we do, the salat, the fasting, the what? Zakat, what? Hajj, what? These are ibadat, things you do for yourself. But the key aspect of Islam, which these components are tailoring you to do, is muamalat. In the salat and al-fashad wal munkar, the prayer we are praying for is to help us to restrain ourselves from al-fashad and al-munkar. So it's very critical for us to understand what we are doing in the hospitals, in our health facilities, in the total muamalat expected of a Muslim. Not only on patient, but on the facility, the resources, your co-workers, and the rest, and so on and so on and so forth. So, in still part of the introduction, I'm trying to relate the last week's lecture, for those of you that were able to join the lecture, on Maqasid Sharia related to reproductive health. So today is going to be related to our attitude towards our clients, our attitude towards our colleagues, and our attitude towards the resources we are using to give health care to our workers. The profession of the medical field is a noble one. There are many values related to it: generosity, humility, trust, and so on and so forth. So if you don't find a health worker with those things, certainly you will not find him satisfactory to his own patient. And that's why the Prophet of Islam, when he was saying to the mankind, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent him as rahmah. وَمَا أَرْسَلْنَاكَ إِلَّا رَحْمَةً لِلْعَالَمِينَ. We have not sent you except to be a mercy to mankind. And to be merciful, there are some characteristics, there are some values, there are some traits that you need to possess for somebody to describe you as somebody that's merciful. And that's prepared by a health worker. Go to slide number 9. This book, Maqasid Sharia for Beginner's Guide, is available. I employ Iman to liaise with Dr. Ali Tonko of Triple IT. They have copies of this to distribute. For every Muslim, there is need for you to have a copy of this to understand the purpose of Sharia and see how you can apply it to yourself and to your day-to-day dealings. Most of the principles, most of the issues I raised, I picked it from it, so that, and I just want to show you the cover so that you also look for it. And I'm sure Ali Toko has joined if we are online. I implore you please to provide copies to Iman to enable them to distribute to their facilities and branches so that they will learn and always relate what they are doing in the facility based on the dictates of Sharia. Slide 10. Let me ask this question. As a very young girl asked her father, a young girl with her father driving a car on a big road, they reached where there is a traffic light and it showed red. Then the father matched the brake and stopped. And the daughter asked the father, why did you stop? Why did you stop that? He said, I stopped because it has shown us red. This danger is directing us. This red color is telling me to stop. He said, Daddy, why did that red light? Why the red? Why did I see red? Then he told her, it's red because there are different colors. Sometimes you see red, sometimes you see green. When it is green, is it green or blue? Sorry? Green. When it is green, it's giving us the option to go. When it is red, it's telling us to stop. Daddy, why is it made like that to be showing green and red? He told her, okay, look at this road crossing, we are here. If we don't stop, these people that are coming to pass will meet in the middle and will have a problem. Then she said, why should we be moving when others are moving? Why can't these people stop for us to pass? He said, no, it's because in their own case, the light has shown green, so they can pass, while our own showed red, so we should stop. Then she said, Daddy, why are you afraid of going? Why are you afraid of them coming? He said, because if you do that, there is no law, there is no order. And Sharia says that we should follow rules and regulations. Daddy, why are we following rules and regulations? He said, because if you follow rules and regulations, you will protect human life. This is Muhammad Sharia. This is what we are relevant. To protect what? Life. If we go, it may be me or you that a car will hit and will die. And because Sharia is made to make sure that our lives are protected, so we shouldn't do that. And that's why there is order. Look at these ones now. They are passing. Very soon it will show red to them, it will show green to us. And that happened. And he moved. And she looked at it. So when I could explain to her that happened because Sharia would protect human life. Why did you start? The question started from why this red light? So you can also equally ask the same thing, my distinguished brother and sister. Why do we positive attitude from the health worker towards the patient? Answer it by yourself. Why do we need positive attitude towards the patient? You can also ask, why do we want to maintain healthy lifestyle? Why is Sharia instruct us to maintain healthy lifestyle? Why is patient expecting humility, kindness, truthfulness from a Muslim health worker? Why? Continue that. So simply what I'm trying to relate in this is that at the long run, whatever question is asked, whatever the response is, at the long run you find it is tailored towards protecting your life, protect the life of that patient, protecting the dignity of that patient, protecting the wealth of that patient, and that is the maqasid, and that is the objective, that is the reason. So we are saying that a health worker must be of good attitude towards his patient. A health worker must have good attitude, good behavior towards anybody he meets in the facility. You cannot be good to a patient and very bad to your colleagues. You cannot work together. Is it possible for you to have a very good health worker? He is good to the patient, but very bad to his colleagues. Is it possible to work together? It's not possible. So what this one is saying is that linking attitude of women or of health workers to Sharia is for preservation of the deen. That's number one. To protect the deen, to preserve the deen. Islam commands respect. Islam commands justice. Islam commands generosity. Islam. So if you really want to be a good Muslim, you must have good attitude to everybody. Aisha radiallahu anha was asked the attitude of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. She said, look at the Quran. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is the moving Quran. Every good behavior, every good attitude, you see it in him. And that's why when Allah said, وَمَا أَرْسَلْنَاكَ إِلَّا رَحْمَةً لِلْعَالَمِينَ, we will not send you except as a mercy to mankind. He has to show in all application, in all respect, how merciful he is and how that should be replicated to everybody. One day, the Prophet was sitting in the mosque with the rest of the Sahaba. Then a bird came swinging, going in and out, very disturbed. And the Prophet noticed that bird is in trouble. The bird will go to its nest, look at it, and fly out, come back again. Then the Prophet announced to the Sahaba and said, who has taken the eggs of that bird? Who has taken away her eggs? Somebody stood up and raised his hand and said, why are the eggs? He says, with me, he's returning back to her. Returning back to her. Under normal circumstances, the bird and the eggs, and so you can finish all of them. But because of the emotion, because of the rahmah of the Prophet in what he saw in that bird, he knew that she was disturbed because she didn't see her eggs. He directed that the eggs be returned to her. This is not a human being, this is a bird. So we are expecting good behavior, good attitude from the health worker. We are expecting a Muslim to maintain a healthy lifestyle. We are expecting a Muslim to be patient, be humane, be kind, step into the facility with his property. As a Muslim or non-Muslim, a health worker there's obligation on the health worker to make sure that, in respect to Sharia, respect the rules of Sharia, to make sure that you protect the life of that patient, you protect the property of that patient, you protect the property of the facility while you are working, and to also ensure that you maintain or improve the intellect of that individual, and of course, the progeny. The progeny is referring to you in Islam. Alhamdulillah, the only time I said Alhamdulillah to the American election is when I heard Trump saying that there's only two
Sexes.
What and what?
Male and
Male and female. This protection of progeny. They are trying to grow now. You don't find that in a form there's a blank space. You either feel whether you are a male or a female. They don't even whatever. Call it different names. Somebody was our So what that is that, and all children must come through proper channels, through marriage. That's what they do, that's what Sharia. So as a health worker, you should not contribute in any way for bringing life that have very serious disrespect progeny to the origin of the father. And that's why, alhamdulillah, last week in the presentation, our sister, Professor Hajara, spoke seriously about assisted reproductive health in different ways. And I think all health workers need to be very clear about that. Next slide. It is important for us to understand that in the Quran, Allah has emphasized the sanctity of human life without Sharia. Because of what, and Allah is saying that, because, and I quote, in Surah Al-Ma'idah, chapter 5, verse 32, because of what you ordered for children of Israel, that if anyone kills a person not in retaliation of murder or to spread the sick in the land, it will be as if he killed all mankind. And if anyone saves a life, it will be as if he saved the life of all mankind. If you kill one person, it's like you kill the whole mankind. If you save one life, it's like you saved the whole mankind. So me and you working in facility, either in lab or in pharmacy or in whatever, think of your encounter with patients and your actions and inactions that have led to the loss of life. Think of your encounter with patients that have led to the saving of life. In another verse, he said, "Man qatala mu'minan muta'ammidan falajahu jahannama khalidan fiha wa ghadiba Allahu alayhi wa la'anahu wa 'adda lahu 'adaban alim." If you, the the mistake we are making is that people think when the verse is saying, Man qatala mu'minan muta'ammidan fajazahu jahannam, if you kill a mu'min deliberately, you will be referred to hellfire. People don't look at their actions as contributory to that action. In any way you contribute. In Sharia, if 10 people put their hands together to kill one person, what is the outcome? What will happen to the 10 people? Now, when 10 people connive to kill one person, under Sharia, what will happen to those 10 people?
They will all be killed.
All of them. All of them will die because of killing of that one person. In fact, the saying of the Sahaba that says, that told a Muslim brother that it's better, it's easier on the side of Allah for you to destroy Kaaba, bring it to rubbish, than to kill one person, to kill one woman, to kill one Muslim. Look at the position of Kaaba in the sight of Allah, I mean on the part of the Muslims. In Surah Al-Nisa, Allah says, and do not kill yourself. Indeed, Allah is so ever merciful. So killing, in this sense, is like just taking your knife to kill somebody. No, it's much more than that. In our operations, in our actions, in our facilities, somebody will leave his house, trusting God, trusting you, coming to your facility, thinking that the person where I am here, where I am now, is the place where life is being saved. They are trained, heavily trained, in fact even paid to save my life, and they walk into the facility. And for you, out of negligence, the person loses his life. Sharia will have to investigate, do your post-mortem examination and meetings, come out what happened. There's an element of negligence on somebody. Sharia will not allow that to go free. Sorry will never solve the problem. So the attitude expected is that you do your best to save the life. When the life goes, alhamdulillah, it is natural that every soul will test what? Certainly person will die one day. But under normal circumstances, in out of whatever, you allow that to happen, that action will be investigated. There are principles of the Sharia I have mentioned here, the 5 of them. The principle of intention, that's on slide 12. Then the principle of certainty, and the principle of injury, and in I want you to go straight to slide 16, slide 14. You see the diagram there. As a health worker, you are working between two levels of benefits that you must have. Whatever you are doing with the patient, it's expected that you feel the life of that patient. You must do everything. Even if it means smiling to that patient with add value, we will not decide smiling to the patient. For the patient to feel that, alhamdulillah, where I am is a place where there is compassion, there is respect, there is dignity, there is honor. They do everything possible to reduce the harm from the patient, reduce the pain from that patient. That's what is expected. And it's being dictated by 3 factors. Influenced by your skills, influenced by your attitude, influenced by the agreement you made in the facility. What's key to us, influenced by your skills, is you must have been trained. Formally, you are certified to perform a particular service for the patient. How skilled you are, if you are not trained to do that, nobody certifies you, and has something happen, you will be held accountable by Islam. And it's expected that if it's not your function, don't do it. That's what is happening nowadays. You find theater nurses with due respect. You find people that are been working with soldiers, they are good, and they will go and operate. They will be successful. Next time they will do another one, they will succeed. Next time they will do another one, but they are not soldiers. Nobody trained them to do that. Then one thing that is going to say, when you are not in counterland, that is the thing. But wallahi, Allah will not stop in the game that Kadara. Kadara, you kill somebody, but you're not trying to do it, then Kadara is to go to Allah. Because nobody has certified you to do that. So the skills must be properly given to you through appropriate training. The second one you ask me, look at many things like some of our facilities. Today, will you be able to differentiate in how many percent will you be able to differentiate aspects of Muslims and non-Muslim coordination? Would you now vote to say that the attitude of Muslims toward patients in a particular facility is much better than the attitude of non-Muslims towards patients in that facility? The third one, equipment. So in the Maqasid of Sharia, the object of Sharia is saying you must do everything humanly possible to ensure that bring support, bring relief, bring maslah to that particular client that has come to you to the best of your ability. Anything outside that, Sharia is frowning at it. 18, I was speaking about different aspects of healthcare system that's covered by Sharia. And in each one is considering these 5 pillars that I mentioned: the deen, the integrity, the progeny, the life, and the property of a Muslim in your care that has come to seek for service. In slide 19, one of the things that slide 18, compassion and mercy is one of the things expected of you by the patient. The second one, equity and justice. Equity and justice. Equity and justice. Let me give an example. It's expected that when patients come to see a doctor, they will come in early in the morning. Their folders will be assembled. Equity and justice requires that the first person who comes first should be served first. Except in your judgment that the person who comes last deserves attention more than the first one. And that's why your skills is important. But other than that, it is haram, it is un-Islamic, it is anti-Sharia for you to attend to the second or the third before the first one. And that's part of what Allah will do. So it's expected on the Muslim health worker to ensure that justice and equity is done. Equity here is that treat them according to the gravity of their issues in the facility. Justice is saying that each one of them that is there attend to him. Is that what is happening today in our facilities? Integrity and honesty. We've seen where patients lost their properties, even their food items in facilities, in the wards. Understanding patient expectation. Spiritually particularly, the patient goes to you to believe in you. When a Muslim patient sees a Muslim healthcare, he becomes relieved. Alhamdulillah. If you apply to another facility where you only see the non-Muslim, she will let that go. So what that person is saying, I have given you my life to do whatever you do, Allah backs her. If I die, alhamdulillah. If I'm safe, alhamdulillah. The respect of faith. If some of you knows, alhamdulillah, Madam Musa, Professor Musa is here. He once worked in a facility in Shaki. 92 months, bro. 92 months. 97. That facility was opened because it still exists. There's a Baptist hospital in that hospital, built in 1945. The imam of that Muslim community, Shaki Muslim community, was admitted in that hospital. He was operated. And those who surrounded asked him to pray. And they prayed over him. He didn't talk. But when they said, "Yeah, Imam, you have to accept Jesus Christ as your Savior before we commence the operation," he said, "Inna lillahi wa inna ilaihi raji'un. I better go home and die." So he took off, put out the uniform they gave him, and came back home and said, and told his people, we must build our hospital. And when the news came to us, we started mobilizing resources to them. Alhamdulillah, at that time, Professor Musa was just out of his science book. Yes, Mukasin Kamanya. Wallahi, he went and spent a whole year there. And I want to tell you later, that facility we left, but this hospital was very patient to them later on. What does that mean? Faith must be protected. This one of them ask for Sharia. To protect somebody's faith, you must make sure that when a Muslim comes to you as a patient, even if he's going to die, he should die as a Muslim. Prayers are worship. Dietary compliance, modesty, respect for vision, trust to Allah. End of life care and dignity. As a health worker, you must learn, what do I do to a patient that is dying? What do I tell you? Because there are evidence to show that, look, this patient happily will go. So what is expected of me? That patient is expecting the good from you to be attended to. Cultural competency, holistic patient care, professional and ethical excellence. What includes the relationship between healthcare provider and their patient is the compassion, the empathy, the respect for human dignity, and so on and so forth. And I gave the example of the Shaki Hospital. Your professionalism is required. Informed consent. Patients today, we've seen patients that are attended to or operated without consent, particularly in private services. Slide 23 is all speaking about guide, conduct, and behavior of health workers. That's the place where I want to go on. Now, part of the expectation of a patient from a health worker is when the patient is dying. As a Muslim, the Prophet said in this tradition, once you see a patient is on the verge of losing his life, just continue saying La ilaha illallah, La ilaha illallah, La ilaha illallah, La ilaha illallah. There's a vehicle DKA 381. DKA 381. Please, can you go and attend to your vehicle? You have blocked somebody who wants to go out. It's expected that you do that. That patient is expecting you. By the time the patient hears you say, La ilaha illallah, La ilaha, the person will have the rest of mind that, look, this doctor, or this nurse, or this person have seen something, and he will also pick up and be saying, La ilaha illallah, Muhammadur Rasulullah, La ilaha illallah, Muhammadur Rasulullah. The same thing, Abu Rafi'a al-Aslam reported from Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, he said, he who washes a dead body and conceals what he notices of physical defect, he will be forgiven 40 times. So it's not only a dead body, even the live patient, the difference you see in your live patient, it is not going to tell anybody in the world. You don't tell your wife, you don't tell your husband, you don't tell anybody. And if you do that, you consider the difference you see in that, Allah will forgive you 40 times. It's there in Riyadh al-Salihin, hadith number 928. In summary, Sharia guide act of the Muslim health worker, male or female in any healthcare setting, to handle their clients, reflecting the core values and Islamic teaching of dream of healthcare provision. Promoting these values has more effect to the client than teaching him the treatment itself. Promoting those values before the patient is much more better sometimes than the drugs to give the patient. Because once he knows, the person knows that the person handling me is a true Muslim and is guiding me to die as a Muslim, you will have more comfort than to die in a Christian facility. What is the current attitude of healthcare workers? Just reflect within 1 second. What is happening in our facilities today? There are many unethical crises happening. There are many cases in courts, many cases in medical committees, many cases in Ministry of Health, local government about attitude of healthcare workers towards patients. To Gabagoma, unnecessary union leaders, unnecessary strike, looting of government properties, hospital equipment during strikes, lead to the death of patients, driving away innocent workers that do not intend to join the strike. Use of government facilities and equipment for private practices are all in conflict with the principles of Sharia and shall be appropriately rewarded by Allah. Protection of life is one of the key principles of Sharia in society. I don't know where the concept of strike comes to us, from where. Government of Henry refused to do one thing, and you are going to punish a patient. You have prepared the patient for surgery. The patient has made payment. All the tests have been conducted. The patient has been arraigned. And only for you to be told by the union that go on strike and you abandon the patient and go away. Inflicting injury, increasing harm on the patient. Is it happening? I'm asking, is it happening? I think you have the answer. And in a Muslim setup, where Muslims are working, and they expect also, now let me ask, assuming that patient died, okay, has there been a case where you know in your practice that because of strike, one patient died? Now, to Allah, because of that one soul, Allah can continue to send them bandits to us throughout our life because of that reason. Banditry, Allah can send bandits to us to continue for the next 100 years because of that innocent life that is lost. Allah was a Sharia. Ignorantly, innocently, somebody who died, he has left, or she has left her house. Let everybody pass every facility to come to you, your own facility, believing that this facility will save my life. Very good Islamic. Abandonment, abandoning patients, the aversion of patients to private facilities, operating in private facilities during government working hours, and provide on slide 27. Providing service in your private facility when at that time you're supposed to be in government facility.
Recording in progress.
And polypharmacy, unnecessary procedures and treatment. I went and saw a friend of mine, a very close friend of mine. We grew together in Kaduna here, not in the village. I saw him in a facility operating a patient. He is not a doctor. He is not a nurse. He is not a theater nurse. He is not. He is what he is. Now, when he was told that I was looking for him, he came up with apron, with his hand, with glove. It's not operation. I waited when he finished. I asked him to enter my car. I took him to his father. I told the father, how long do you know me with this gentleman? He said, alhamdulillah. He said, wallahi, I will be the person to be the source of him going to prison. Wallahi. The father started crying. Prison, it's wallahi, that's the simplest I will do. Simplest. He will go to prison. And that's how his father asked him to leave this town. She was Polish. All these things are questions of the day of judgment. All. Picking particular. Why on site? Why should you love government property? It's not your property. If you are going on site, go on site. But why should you love it against somebody who doesn't want to go on site? You force him to go. Don't go to you. You are going on site and you have prevented somebody from saving life again. We need to look at these attitudes as Muslims. Which one will take you to hell? Which one will take you to heaven? And which one are you accustomed to? Everybody should ask himself, everybody, including me, what have I been practicing in the facility that will take me to heaven? And what is the other side of it? I have mentioned on slide 28, factors contributing to health attitudes: culture, family influence, education, previous experience, peer influence, media, economic issues, psychological. Slide 29, the effects. What are the effects? Red Corolla DKA 260. Red Corolla DKA 260. Please go and remove your vehicle. What is the effect? What is the effect? Negative attitude of that worker. Secondly, poor quality of service. Poor patient satisfaction. That work environment will be hated. How much service sooner as we it will be given a name. Professional repetition, legal and ethical issues. I'm rushing. Slide 31. I want to dwell on this hadith. The Prophet ﷺ, عن أبي هريرة عن رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم قال أتدرون من المفلس؟ قالوا المفلس منا من لا درهم له ولا متاع، فقال إن المفلسون من الأمة يأتي يوم القيامة بالصلاة والصيام والزكاة. The Prophet asked his companions, who is a bankrupt person? But what poor person, but it doesn't know, it's not mean poor person, no, bankrupt. A bankrupt person is someone who has something before the buyer things decide to go. So when he asked the Sahaba, who is a bankrupt person on the day of judgment? They say, I'm like, there's somebody who doesn't have naira, he doesn't have dollar, he doesn't have yan, he doesn't have this one. The Prophet said, no. That person, on the day of judgment, he will come with salat. He has prayed, and he has accumulated a lot of ladder, siyam, zakat, hajj, this and that. However, he comes, but he has resorted so and so, falsely accused so and so, eating someone's well, spilling someone's blood, and struck someone. He has done this, cheated that patient, became the source of the death of the patient because of his unnecessary strike, and so on and so forth that we are doing. Then the Prophet said, Allah will pick the good use of his prayer, the best part of the prayer, and be compensated. The prayer issue will finish. They will pick his song, fasting, paying back patients that they are cheated, paying back government. He's supposed to report to work at 7:30. He's reporting to take at 10 a.m. Where has he been in the last 2 hours? He has been in his private hospital. So all those hours, but now somebody will be lucky if all of us are Muslims. To chicken up with that, we have in Daniel, the Chibutu, the baby. They have rights because you are supposed to be in the facility, but you decide to go and see your patient in a private hospital. It's not wrong to operate privately. It's not wrong. It's not wrong. But please maintain the ethics, and we have seen people that are doing that very well. And we mentioned their names somewhere for others to learn from what they are doing. They respect that. They don't use government time in their facility. Wallahi, this thing will consume our prayers and our fasting and our salah on the day of judgment. This hadith, please let us go and learn the hadith of me. It's related by Muslim. It's hadith number 2581. Most health workers were there in January. In fact, all health workers, inshallah, in January, except those who indulge in this kind of things. Now, I appreciate it, I will not mention. She took 1-2 spoons only. The next one day, we came and found nothing inside. ya aka yi kakka faɗa ba sista shi ta ɗan ba. Now, what kind of attitude is this? And what I mean, she's Muslim. Patient property. Sharia is saying we should protect the life, the property, the progeny, and everything of the Muslim. Why? So, nace mata ta haƙuri kiyama za a biya ki, insha Allah. A ranar kiyama za a biya ta da wani. So I'm trying to say that what I would expect from a Muslim health worker, all good behavior Islam has prescribed for Muslims should be seen in a Muslim health worker. In those days when we were small, the missionaries that came, they used these factors, they used this good conduct, they used this, good attitude to draw people to their religion. Unknown to you that Islam has taught that look to Muslims. It's because we abandoned it. The Prophet was walking in the street of Medina. He saw an old woman carrying a heavy load. He took that load off her head and he took it to her house for her. She said, may God bless you. Come out, go to admonish you. In this town, there is somebody who is preaching. That person, don't listen to him. If you listen to him, he's going to separate you from your parents. He's going to do that. But she finished. The Prophet said, I am that person you are talking about. Then she said, then what I have been told is wrong. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah. What takes people to Islam more is conduct, good conduct. It's good conduct. Good attitude is what invites people to Islam more than the preaching. So, and a health worker is in the best position, has an upper hand over anybody to live, because a patient will come to you helplessly and is expecting you to assist you. And when you do that, you are taking the heart of that patient. In conclusion, Muslim health workers have the unique responsibility of integrating Islamic ethics with what? With medical practice, offering compassion, equitable and faith-sensitive care. Faith-sensitive care. Faith-sensitive care. I am repeating that. Faith-sensitive care. Let the patient have the feeling that the person treating is a Muslim. There is a facility in London. It's owned by Muslims. They treat everybody, both Muslim and Christian. But when it comes to Muslims, in fact, sometimes they, just like what I put in here, they place earpiece in your ears, recite the Quran to you. They treat a lot of psychological issues, psychotherapy, and what have you, those facilities. In fact, some they don't even give medication. When they take the medical history, they go to social history and they start talking to you about Islam. You give yourself a problem. If you have done this in Islam, this will happen. And the person will go to that facility cured without taking any drug. Attitude. Let's reflect on these three verses. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, يوم يقول الناس أشهد يرى أعمالهم ومن يعمل مثقال ذرة خيرا يرى ومن يعمل مثقال ذرة شرا يرى. We will all be woken up one day before Allah. The day people will be separated into categories, into different groups, to be shown the result of their deeds. That's in Yom Al-Qiyamah, Yom Al-Tagabun, Yom Al-Hisab, Yom Al-Jazaa. Everybody will be shown his own deeds. فمن يعمل مثقال ذرة خيرا يرى. خيرا يرى. مثقال ذرة. What is that مثقال ذرة? What is that small item? What you don't even take as serious. Patient comes in, paid for all the facilities, all the equipment, the materials. When the patient is going, those items left is not yours. Give it to the patient. Give it back. Give it back. Or if you are saying it, use for another patient. Don't say it. Sharia, how small is it? You also see that Allah is putting our things together and He is going to show us on the day of judgment. The other verse is saying, ذلك اللي يشير له البيع الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات قل لا أسألكم عليه أجر المودة في القربى ومن يتق حسنة يزد له فيها حسنى إن الله غفور شكور. It's that of which Allah gives good tidings to servants who believe and do righteous deeds. Tell them, Ya Prophet Muhammad, I don't ask you for this message any payment, only goodwill through kinship. And whoever commits a good deed, how small it is, we will increase for him good therein. And indeed Allah is forgiving and merciful. If you do good deed to a patient, to your colleague, to your facility, even to as amana, Allah will increase your reward. And then in conclusion, final conclusion, Allah is saying, وَمَنْ اِتْمُؤْمِنَ مُتَعَمِّدًا فَجَزَاهُ جَهَنَّمَ خَالِدًا فِيهَا وَلَعَنَهُ وَأَعَدَّ لَهُ عَذَابًا عَظِيمًا. Whoever kills a believer intentionally, their reward will be hellfire, where they will stay indefinitely, and Allah will be displeased with them, condemn them, and prepare them for the tremendous punishment. Surah An-Nisa, verse 93. May Allah, in His infinite mercy, give us the wisdom to use the talent, the skills given to us as health workers, so that we attend to our patients, so that al-barakah from those patients will be our source of going to Jannah. May we also understand that everything we do in the facility, in fact, we are a privileged community. Health workers are privileged members of the community. Any year you have seen the difference. Your salary is more than that of any other person in the school service. But it's only when you use the opportunity to make your patient happy, your client happy, your colleague happy, that will earn the reward that will take you to Jannah. Otherwise, we are somewhere. I want to suggest seriously to Iman. First, let me commend you. May Allah bless the leadership. May Allah guide the leadership. May Allah see throughout. It's an opportunity for us to look at this issue that we are onto. I want to have some classes for us to understand Islam. Part of the recommendation I made in the paper is you cannot practice and get reward if you don't know Allah, if you don't understand Islam. You can be doing something good. If you don't know that it's good, that goodness is commanded by Allah, by Sharia, you won't get reward for it. So it's better for us to understand what we are doing in the health system through the holes, through the point of Sharia. If we don't do that, you may be doing good. That would be rewarded to me here, but you won't get anything in the hereafter. I want to thank you sincerely for the opportunity.